Realtor foreplay.
I think we should have had John on this too. I think this foursome would have been. This is the move.
Oh, the amount of topics we've already hit and we're not even live yet. Not gonna lie, you two missed a lot, and then it just only got better from there.
That's what we like to do.
But anyways, we're live. Welcome. We are back with two Baltimorons, honestly 3 right now.
What's up, y'all?
With the lovely Heather Kelley and Andrea Soto. Say what's going on.
What's up, y'all?
So we just got back from Summit. It was a fucking blast. It was cool. Honestly, I feel like it's a great reset. Teaches me a lot about like where I'm at, what I could be doing more, and then also like making a lot of amazing connections there. And I feel like I need to do more of like leaning into that.
What do you mean by that?
So there's particularly like one person I met that I've been following on Instagram for a while. We connected over the Grateful Dead and even the David Goggins book. I believe her brother went to SEAL training or maybe just getting into the Navy. I'm not sure which stage, but yeah, I'm almost certain it's the SEAL training. Connected. She's amazing. She's awesome. She's in Austin, Texas. Jenna Hensley, you're the shit. I love you. You're awesome.
Woo, woo. Shout out.
But she's always so full of energy. Her Instagram, everything. Like she wore a pink blazer and she had a pink sign at Summit for a while, like holding it up on these 2 sticks.
It was her birthday, wasn't it?
Yeah. One of the was it during Summit or was it before? I think it was actually the first day, maybe. But nonetheless, like she's awesome on social media. She's always like this. She kind of like identifies herself as the native Austin realtor. Like she grew up there. Like this is her hometown. It's part of her branding. And it was really cool because we've only interacted on Instagram. We kind of support each other here and there. And meeting her in person was like, holy crap. And then seeing her at Summit meet all these crazy people and really lean into it and build these relationships. Not saying that I didn't do that, but I could even do more of that, right?
Yeah.
And especially
an extrovert in that area.
Well, trying to, you know, I think I get out of my comfort zone a little bit more now, but even after Summit, like we met Laura, I met Jenna, I met a couple other people that we had really great conversation with, and I don't think it stops at Summit. It's the same thing. Like if you look at it, it's like you sell your client a house. Does your job stop there? No, you keep, having the conversation with them. You have a relationship. You're part of the family now. And, I feel like, again, I can just lean into more of that.
Yeah. I think it's always really cool meeting somebody that you've followed and then meeting them in person because it gives you a different perspective of who they are. Like I used to be not like surprised when someone was like, oh, you're Andrea, right? Like from Instagram or like, you're Andrea, right? I used to be like surprised of like, yeah, I'm cool. Like, what's up? Like, I'm an actual person. But it's like, it is really different from the other side, like meeting someone that you have followed or you watch their videos or it comes up on your For You page and then you're like, oh shit, like, hey. And then they just have a casual conversation with you and you're like, whoa, you're actually really cool. Like, let me have more casual conversation with you.
For me, I thought that was just like literally tits McGee.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tighten this up a little bit.
How do you tighten them?
Yeah, I don't know, bud.
How do you tighten them?
I think you'd be all right now. You just.
Are we okay?
Yeah,
I can't hear me, but it's okay.
I can hear you.
Talk into it.
Hello.
Well, raise it up like.
Hello.
Okay. Well. All right. Well, yeah. There we go. But I feel like going to Summit, me being not someone who loves to network, there's like a lot of pressure behind having to like always hit it off with people, whether it be at like a bar. You're number one. Always being at a bar or like at the actual event. There's a lot of pressure. Like you got to be like this huge real estate person. When you take a step back, we're all doing the same stuff. We all have the same struggles, give or take, right? And we're all in the same business. So I feel like just understanding that there's not as much pressure as we might come to think there is making these connections and relating to somebody. I don't know. It was nice to be able to kind of have that off of my shoulders. I don't know how you guys feel about networking, but it definitely isn't my favorite thing to do.
I would also say that because I feel like it's a lot of the same conversation, but I feel like if you look at it as, I feel like all real estate agents are the same. Everyone's offered or has the same amount of opportunities. I think some people just put themselves out there more. Yeah. And I think that's like, those are the stories that you hear that you're like, they put themselves out there and like, fucking $1 million deal. And like,
Yeah,
they just
yeah.
fucking skyrocketed from there.
Yeah.
But I think it's so cool to put yourself in a room of people that can range from you to someone that has, $1 billion in fucking GCI. You're like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like, it's something like they're in the same room as you. You
Yeah.
know,
And they're going to be different scales of what your goal is, but you guys are going to have generally very similar goals.
Yeah.
And the ways what you guys are harnessing to achieve that goal is probably going to be pretty similar. So whatever you're able to take from it.
and
So-
like, yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, but to be able to have that opportunity to like go up to them, talk to them, have a conversation
Yeah.
with them, like that is like what always has me in awe of going to Summit. It's like awesome.
Like last year, I had a huge reset from Summit. Like I wanted to come here and just fucking work, hit the ground running. And I had a reset this time around, and it's hitting this morning, not necessarily right after the event, but like they're like, we're all the same people at that event. Some are doing a little bit better, but just how much are you willing to commit and sacrifice and put in the work and time? So what's truly separating us from being that person up on stage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's really not a whole lot. They're human just like we are. And you could kind of relate that to any celebrity, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, anybody. They started out kind of like at the very bottom, just like everybody else, right? So to get to that point, I feel like it's attainable for everybody. It's just who's going to be that person.
Yep.
So like understanding that is like, yeah, maybe next year I could be up there, or anybody on our team could be, or if we really want to do that, you could put your mind to it and achieve it. I think a lot of it does come down to like writing goals down or like having a clear direction. I think me and Liv were having a conversation. Was it me and Liv? I think it was maybe at lunch. And I was telling somebody where they wanted to be with their team or their goals and everything in mind. And I was like, if you're not already envisioning like where or what that looks like in your head, then I don't want to say you're doing something wrong, but you could be doing something that already it's almost like no I don't know how to word it, but like it's almost like manifestation, right? Like if I see in my head every single day, okay, by mid 2024 I'm going to have X amount of deals, or I'm going to have X amount of agents, or have this amount of GCI at that point. It's already in my head. I'm manifesting it. I can already see myself come mid 2024 with those goals already done, and it becomes more of a reality and more manifestation. I think there's another word, but I can't fucking find it right now.
Yeah.
But like truly seeing yourself in that position in that time helps you kind of I guess get in the flow state maybe.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know if you guys can relate at all or understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, working towards a goal. If not, you're just treading water to tread water.
No, but
And I feel like it's different to have a goal than to be like, this is exactly what I want, and this is exactly how I'm going to get there. I feel like the difference there is I have a goal versus I'm going to work to achieve that goal.
Well, I think a lot, like what my point is like literally seeing in your head, this is what it feels like, this is what it looks like, this is what the situation looks like come mid 2024 or whenever that goal or whatever your idea is, right? You have to see that time. You have to see and understand what your life looks like at that point,
Right.
because that's going to help you get to there. At least it helps me, right? And I think I might have heard this from like Rob Dyrdek's podcast. If you guys haven't checked it out, fucking great. There's an episode I'm going to send you guys. He just put out a clip of it, and it's maybe 20, 25 minutes, but a lot of his stuff is amazing. Like going from Robin Big to Fantasy Factory to ridiculousness, the way that he structured all of his businesses and deals, and he visually saw it in his head, and he's like, this is what I'm going to do, this is how I'm going to do it, and he woke up every single day, and that's how it just formulated to be his life.
Yeah.
I think it's very powerful. But going on a kind of a tangent here, what did y'all think of Summit? What are your biggest takeaways, whether it's like, hey, what more could I be doing, or like, was it a good reset? How was the event?
You go. I think it was a great reset too. I think it was very different than last year, and I don't really know how to explain it, but I feel like my focuses were different. I went into it with different intentionalities, etc. In regards to networking,
Could have
it's
done
not
better.
by nature.
Yeah,
It's not
no.
by nature. Here's the thing. I feel like I'm not a people person, right? I think I do great with people. I love people. People love me when I am able to be a people person.
Yeah.
When I'm not, it is incredibly clear that I do not want to be around people. And
Same.
I just have, she's laughing because there are multiple times where she was like,
You good?
Heather,
you need to fix your face.
Oh my God. Well, I think
you saw a time or two too where I was like,
I can relate a little bit because I feel like
is this real life?
for me,
Did you really just waste my time?
it has to be
Like that?
for me. Like I try to find genuine connection in a lot of people, or like the situation has to be real, like coming from the heart. And you won't always have that with everybody, and I think that's okay.
And
but
I think it's
can't,
hard to find
like,
that out, especially when there are 8,000 people sitting in one room.
Yeah.
It's a game of numbers, right?
Yeah,
You're not going to
yeah.
love everyone, and that's not a bad thing. And I think you can still learn so much from the people that you don't necessarily like personality-wise.
Yeah, 100%.
And I was having this conversation with my dad this morning, and I was like, honestly, the people that I cannot stand personality-wise are typically the people that I do the most effective work with. And I don't know
Really?
what it is, but especially at like restaurants, the people that I cannot rock with personality-wise, I end up really liking working with them just because of the way that we can get things done.
Do you think it's like opposites attract?
I think so.
Yeah?
I think
Yeah.
it is. I mean, obviously, I can work really well with people that I like too. Don't
Yeah,
get me
yeah.
wrong.
No,
but
yeah,
I
yeah.
think
But,
there's
like,
something to be
I
said
think
for both of those.
working well and enjoying work
Yes.
are two different things.
And just
you know?
the understanding that like we're adults, we don't need to be best friends, but we can
Right.
both still help each other out and want the
100%.
best for each other's
100%.
business. So I think with that mindset and the way that Summit is structured, I think we found a lot of people that we were able to have little conversations and little tidbits that we were able to get help from everybody that we interacted with. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So
yeah.
I think there's value in that. All of the speakers, I think, were absolutely phenomenal. And it does open that door for networking and just, again, like you're a mixture of the 5 closest friends that you have, right? So if you're bringing people into your sphere constantly that have similar struggles to you and have similar wins to you, and you guys can build each other up in that, I think it only builds your business. And I think that's a big part of building your real estate community and coaching and this, that, or the other.
Right.
So I think that was really great. I think my focuses in general are just kind of the same that they've always been, but building on that and expanding. I think I want to be more listing focused
Yeah.
after I get this
You
So-
got it, girl.
bad boy clothes.
So I guess to wrap up how your summit was, and I kind of wanted to touch on the listing thing. How are you going to lean more into being listing focused? What is your plan? Have you come up with one, or like what are some ideas floating around?
I think I just need to have more conversations. There are a lot of people that I've spoken to that have contemplated it and this, that, or the other. But I think especially with me being under contract on my first listing, and with everything going on, I think it's a little bit harder to understand and navigate that position. So I'm a little hesitant to get into that until I have this under wraps.
Yeah.
But I think with that being said, like my social media needs to be active. Like I need to get rolling on the marketing end of things. I need to be having more conversations.
Right.
I need to be building my educational repertoire to be able to be having these conversations with sellers and give them the faith in me and the tangible results.
It really is
to keep this rolling.
It really is crazy because all of this stuff is like intertwined, right?
Yeah.
Each role play, each like interaction on social media, each call you have with the buyer or seller, each like marketing material that you post or put out or mail out, like it all adds up. And I don't think you get from point A to point B, or you get from buyer consultation to a close without any of it.
Yeah.
Like it all ties in.
Yeah.
And I think we all, including myself, and probably even some of the people up on stage, overlook that, you know? So
I
think-
know it's not going to be like a jump into it. I know that this is wisdom that I have to earn. It's not just going to be handed to me.
Well, it's
I
just like
understand
everything.
that. Yeah, totally.
you know?
So yeah, it's just about implementing things, and I have to go back through my notebook. I was talking about that yesterday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I brought mine inside.
I did too.
Yeah.
And with everything going on with your listing, your first listing, just want to say you're crushing it and handling it
Crushing
very
it,
well.
girl.
Very well.
You got it. Almost there.
Andrea, let me hear how your summit went, some takeaways, how you felt.
Yeah. So piggybacking off of listings, definitely. I feel like that was a lot of what I took from Summit was, going towards the listing side, being that agent in control, having more oversight on how your deal is going and things like that. I think, that was a very big part that I took away in terms of having to implement and, strategize better with the systems that we already have in place.
Okay.
So, I'm very excited for our next marketing meeting in terms of, instead of our new home buyer
Liv is dreading it in the
presentations,
corner.
having
so much I want to talk to you.
instead of doing our new home buyer brunches and happy hours, also if not adding to it, substituting. I would always like to add, not take away.
Yeah.
But importance changes sometimes. So, if it were to substitute some of the new home buyer events, that'd be great. I think another big takeaway was definitely just having clients overall, not having past clients or future clients, but clients overall.
I like that. I like it when
Tom,
I think Tom said that on
he
stage.
did.
He's like, you don't have past clients, you have clients.
Right.
And I was like, oh shit.
Yeah. No, that was a very big
A lot of stuff
shit.
he says is very powerful, and
Yes.
and it's like
short but sweet, and you just remember it.
And
it's
there's
not-
those things that make everything that you've been feeling out here just all like
one
It-
fucking
into
sentence.
one, and you're like, oh my god, you're right.
well, right. It's not like past clients is wrong or it's
Yeah.
right or however you do it, but it's like the perspective, the way that you look at it
It's
is
a
now
different
different.
perspective, 100%.
And I think over a long term, if you change the way that you think, it'll all play out for the better, or you'll
Yeah.
get more out of it, right?
Yeah.
But-
100%.
I think. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that that and I want to say actually being able to kind of meet with some of the people from my Tom Ferry Spanish speaking agents and
Nice.
being able to add Laura, for example, my first time meeting Laura, shout out to you. Probably don't hear our podcast, but I'll send it to you.
Real estate. She works in Orlando. Let us know if you need contacts.
Yeah, she was awesome. She speaks Spanish. She was on a team last year. She was a single agent this year around. And she just signed up for coaching a month before.
Yeah.
Which is honestly really smart to do right before summit.
Yeah.
So, being able to meet her and add her to the group chat and invite her into the community and also be able to meet up with some of the community and get wristbands from the community. It's just the past helped me in the future.
Yeah.
My
And I
past
think it
ideas
kinda-
supporting you.
now flourished.
It loops back to leaning into the people that we meet at Summit, right?
100%.
Which, again, I think we can all do more of. It's
Yeah.
amazing that you were able to add her and create some of those connections and build off of that. So it's amazing.
Thank you.
I think this is a good segue into what our actual topic is today, but I wanted to hear about
Oh my
Summit.
god, I didn't even know we had a topic. I thought this was it.
Liv sends it out every morning. Well, every
It's
Monday morning.
11:11. Everybody make a wish.
So, our topic today is last minute home selling checklist for sellers. I've been going on a couple listing appointments recently, and I'm doing my quick walkthrough video. And the number one thing that I think can help people sell a home, especially in the early stages, that they need to understand is what?
Can you repeat the question?
Okay, so you're doing a
Walkthrough?
walkthrough video with your seller, just to get an idea of the property, and you probably want to come back to the office, get an idea of what some comps looks like, and then you can go over numbers. But the number one thing to get a property, let's say market ready, maybe.
Okay, for you're past your listing appointment, you're now talking about how much to put it on
Sure.
the market
or
for.
no, not necessarily price, but it could be anything. What?
What's the checklist?
Sure, sure.
I feel like I need more context.
Okay. What I'm getting at is
I don't want to say the wrong thing.
no. What I'm getting at is I on some of my listing appointments these past few weeks, it's the number one thing. They're beautiful homes. What they need to do is
Personalize.
Yeah,
Bing,
depersonalize.
bing, 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 bing.
Oh, the three. Yeah, depersonalize,
Deep
declutter.
clean. Well, yeah, and declutter.
Yeah.
So again, the beautiful homes, they've done so much work to it, and they have an amazing amount of equity. And if we are able to, I think depersonalize is a big one.
Yeah.
Just taking I don't want to say take all your family photos off the wall, but that might be
Take
what
all
it
your
is.
shit off the wall.
Right, and organize and make it look like
Make it look like a home goods at there.
So
like,
Mike and
if
I
you're-
went to like a $2 million property that was listed by his friends. It's absolutely beautiful. We were there last week and his friend was like, I don't understand why it won't sell. And one of the things that kept getting brought up by buyers agents and buyers was that like it was hard for them to imagine because of the style. And honestly, I felt like it was absolutely perfect, but they did have like deep purple walls as accent walls or a deep orange.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's just so
Stop
hard
with
to
the
picture
accent
yourself.
walls. I'm not gonna
2023.
repeat it again.
Well,
Stop with the accent walls.
There was something said on this morning's
Ryan call.
no the like
Morning
what do we call it,
motivation.
Monday morning motivation that I have to go back and find, but I feel like a lot of people, whether you're a buyer or seller, are afraid to like get into the shoes of like what the other party looks like, right? So like some of my listing clients, not saying that they're like this, but if you can understand the thought process of a buyer walking into your property, it'll make things 100 times easier, 100 times easier. And it's the same thing if they want to sell their property. Well, I'd be like, well, what happens when you walk into a property, because you're obviously going to buy another one, and you have all this going on or this same feeling? How are you going to feel when you walk out of that? You're not going to want to put an offer in. It's the same thing maybe even when it comes to price, right? You walk into a home that's overpriced and you're like, damn, I'm not paying 350 grand for this fucking piece of shit, or like overpriced whatever. Might not be a piece of shit, but whatever. But if they had it priced appropriately, these people are going to walk in and they're going to think, hey,
I'm
I'm
only
getting...
paying $350,000 for this.
Well, it could be that, but also like if it's cleaned up, that might be the reaction. But if you have it priced even appropriately, they're going to see the value in it. They're going to be like, oh my God, I'm getting a fucking deal here for 325 or 330. And then again, the strategy behind it is getting you the top dollar. But kind of looping back, I think the 3Ds, deep clean, decluttered, depersonalized, has a huge return and can make things so much better.
Agreed.
Triple D's. Can't forget them.
Jeez, we've literally hit every wild topic on this
I cannot
podcast. So like it says here, clear counters of any junk, wipe all countertops, make all the beds, empty all the trash cans, secure your valuables.
Yeah, put all the appliances that you don't use in the freaking cabinets.
Yeah, and like clear the entryways, just all these simple things. And
I think, you know what a big one is? Closets. Because everyone looks in a closet.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they're going to look for the size. And you can't tell the size of a closet if there's a shit ton of stuff in it.
yeah.
So it's like, they definitely can't imagine their stuff in there.
But this even stems, I think, to photos. Like on the Monday morning thing, it's actually something that I kind of remember. He said the buyers have an attention span of 8 seconds. So they're online looking at photos, like previewing property online before they get out there in person. And if your property doesn't catch them by the photos, you're fucked.
You're fucked.
Like if they have 8 seconds, okay, maybe that's click on the page, click on the next picture. Oh, if it's not right, next one, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it's really important, like kind of how everything we do, social media, role play, X, Y, and Z all integrate and relate together. And they make us who we are, build our business. You don't get from one point to the other without them. It's the same thing with sellers, right? Like the deep clean, declutter, depersonalize can also relate to your photos, because if your photos look like crap, or you have all this stuff in your photos, it's going to have the same negative effect if you didn't do any of that stuff. So it all, well, like, it's all intertwined.
Photos was the other thing we talked about. That's funny.
When
We were at that listing.
the $2 million one?
Yeah.
And that's another thing that we, implementing into our listing presentation, having video.
Grade A photography.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we already have photography, but like also like video and is it walkthrough video?
Yeah. So there's a statistic.
Okay.
I can't fucking speak sometimes on this caffeine. I'm just like, get everything out right now. You gotta go quick. Go. They're timing us. There's what was it? We were talking to, I believe his name was Kevin, the first day we were at Summit. It was actually the day before it started. We were eating lunch with him, and he said some statistic. There we go, from Zillow.
Good job.
That
Good word.
I think it was 80.
40.
I thought it was 80 something, or did you write it down?
No, I didn't write it down.
I thought it was either 62 or 82% of buyers, when they see a walkthrough video, they're 62% or 82% more likely to save it. So like just adding that one piece of media to your listing automatically increases how many eyes are in front of your property, how many people are interested. And again, that'll tie into maybe how many people show up to your open house, how many people throw in offers, right? People on Zillow see all that and maybe they're in a rush to, find an agent, see your home, or maybe they already have one, right? So all these little things can add up and they help to sell your home. But
alas. Okay.
Nice. Waiting for something there, but it didn't come.
No, you hit the nails on the head.
Yeah.
Multiple of them.
Yeah.
Not just one.
I'm just hammering a nail today, doing some construction work. What? Where? Y'all can't. I don't even know if you guys can go anywhere together.
You're the one that continued.
Continued what?
The construction work.
Should I change this out for like a neon orange and yellow one?
Yeah, we'll
Get
just
a hard
edit
hat.
it. We'll just edit
Well,
right
we'll
now.
use our new AI tool and
Yeah.
information that we learned to Photoshop all the construction gear
When you
on my
gotta
body.
get out to the dig site at 6, but to the office by 12.
Or to your listing presentation at 12.
Yeah.
But you gotta close in at 12.
So, I guess let me hear more about how you guys prepare for listings, or what are the like more important things that you guys find when chatting with your sellers to get everything ready, or even last minute things.
I feel like one of the first and foremost is gauge the not the importance, but gauge the realistic scope of how they're feeling. You know what I'm saying? Because
Like the preparedness.
yeah, like we were talking about it. I think it was before we left for Summit. Like, are they mentally prepared? Like, how mentally prepared are they to start their process? Where are they in the mental preparation? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's like one of the first things I look towards is, how serious are you? What's your timeline? Realistically, what do you want to sell your house for? Either conversation. Because, that conversation will guide the rest of it. And if you don't have that conversation, if you just like, okay, cool, we're gonna list it this number, okay, cool, and like they just dilly dally, you might start fast, but you're gonna hit a stop and you're not gonna be able to push it and then push through that stump in the road, and then your listing's gonna fall through. So I think it's important to start with the foundation, start from ground zero first. Like, definitely don't just skip to step 10, but start there, have that conversation, have the conversation of what your job is, what you're there for, compensation if you want to do that, since that is a very big portion of our job, apparently, just talking about how much we make.
Now,
Like,
I'm just thinking of some things here from I'm not sure the investor that you work with, but nonetheless, how do you get a investment property ready versus getting a I don't want to say residential because they're all residential, but like somebody that's living in there full time. Do you find
it's
they're
a lot easier with investor properties?
Yeah. What do you find is like the way that you would go about getting a property ready from an investor point of view versus
buyer point of view?
No,
like,
not buyer, but like someone who's living in their home full time, wanting to sell it, rather than an investor buying a property, putting some work into it, or whatever the case may be. Yeah.
Owner occupied.
I would say rental average is a very big one. So looking at, comps, obviously, but comps in residential are going to be drastically different than, city comps or stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think that's a very big decision because, some investors want guaranteed rentals, like return, instead of maybe something that's in the county, a specific family has to look for it, someone in
let's
that specific
say
area.
I come to you and I have a property that's probably worth it should sell at 350, and we've done our whatever listing appointment. How do you get that property ready, or is there anything that you would do differently?
I would definitely like walk through the property. I would, depending like how stern you are, some investors have been like, okay, well, we'll just get it appraised. Like I had to talk my investor down a ledge and be like, well, he's like, well, it's definitely worth that much. I'm like, okay, well, it's not, because it's not selling.
Right,
So, you know,
right.
he's like, well, we'll just get an appraisal and I'll show you it's that much.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, let's get an appraisal.
Yeah.
Appraisal comes back exactly the amount that I said it would sell for.
Right.
You know, which is only 10 grand less.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like people will not budge. Like investors will not budge. Like 1,000, 2,000, 10,000, like they do not care. Like they want that because
So
it's a difference of making their return.
Well, it's interesting because how much did he pay for that appraisal?
It's like
just thinking
$300-400.
Right, but still, that's money at the end of the day.
Yeah, but when it's you know when it's your return coming back to you, like they don't care.
I understand, and that's my point. So it's like,
But that's
you
like
have to be able
5%.
to get them in line or put them in check or set the expectation of like, hey, dude, this is what's going on. This is what it looks like. Like, I'm not here to battle with you, but like some people, I mean, I know.
And that's why I helped him get it. At the end of the day, I ordered it. I was there for the appraisal. You know, like I did those things for him because, you know, I'm not going to say no, but I'm also going to show you, like, I will do this for you, but you're wasting your time, my time, and your money.
Here's all the avenues of what.
Yes, exactly. I'm like, you could take my advice and we could move on and be a week ahead of closing after we get under contract, or you can take another week.
Yeah.
You can be another week on the market and show him all these things that for the next property we list, I'm going to say, hey, remember that last time when you didn't listen to me and we wasted more time and it was more on the market, and then, you know, so it's like,
I think it is. Yeah.
it's like a kid.
Yeah.
You know, like at the end of the day, you're a parent trying to work with the kid.
Yeah.
So you're going to teach them like, hey, I can tell you to not, you know, run out onto the street.
Yeah.
But until you do it and the car hits you, you're going to learn that it's not, you know, it's not a good idea.
So like what I'm hearing is like trying to set an expectation and inform them about like, hey, here's where we're at, and then setting all avenues of like what the outcome may be. Here's what I think is best. So I think that's something that we all try to do, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But I was curious to see how it is from an
Investor
point of view.
They're a little more hard to form.
Yeah.
They're
Because
very
I think-
solid in how they work and what they want.
Because they're very, I feel like they're very like number.
Yeah.
And I feel like
focused.
that can be a blessing and a curse. Sometimes you're looking for that, sometimes you're not. And it provides the same pendulum swing issue with
they don't get scared.
owner-occupied properties because they have this, well, I've lived in this house for 30 years.
I think
you don't
the
know
difference-
how great this place is.
I think the difference is that
it's the emotional versus
one's
like the logical.
one's emotional, one's maybe even financial, but they all end at the same point.
Yeah.
Right. Like
this
this person.
the realistic
Right.
outcome.
right. Or like in this case, you know, financial, they want certain numbers, but also this family wants more numbers, but their reason behind it, like this one's emotional, but this one's like
Greed.
sure. I guess depending on the I don't know. You do more investor stuff than I do.
greed,
And they definitely want the biggest bang for their buck, like the highest return. So I don't blame them.
Right. It's their job.
Yeah, for sure. For you, what would you say? Like, how do you're like, this is your first listing, but like, what have you done to like get it ready or even mentally prepare your seller or yourself or just the entire property?
I would say getting in there, having a conversation with them again, seeing what they're looking for, what their motivation is, et cetera, running comps, figuring out how long this is going to be on the market, what's status quo for this. This is how we're going to list it. This is how we're going to market it. How do you feel about this?
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Yeah.
And then after that, I'm a very visual person. So it's like, walk through, let's make a list, let's chat about timelines. What is this going to look like? What is this going to look like? What is this going to look like? Knowing all this, how do you want to move forward?
Yeah.
I feel like that's just kind of
Like, like laying out some
it
paths
is.
and understanding where they're at. Yeah. 100%. So
If you guys knew the details of Heather's listing right now,
she is a fucking trooper.
if she was a doctor, it would be the analogy of her hand in a
I'm like literally my
patient's-
thumb is filling the hole in the aorta and the left ventricle
And she's
currently,
fucking pumping the heart.
and I am the one
Oh my God.
Literally.
doing compressions.
If you want a trooper of her listing agent,
bleeding out on the table, I'm like, Dad, can I get a 10 blade? No one's
reach out to
helping.
Heather. She's amazing.
It's like one of those dreams where you're naked, truly and honestly.
One of those dreams where you're naked.
You've never had dreams where you're in public and you're naked.
Nope.
I'm not gonna lie to you, neither have I.
Crickets. Is there a cricket noise on this board?
No.
Yo, Really? You have always done this to every
No, I
Like
mean,
everybody?
everybody has these?
I hear about them
So
like
I thought
in the
this was
movies.
gonna be a really safe space. Yeah.
Well, it's not a dangerous space, but a lot of
You guys were
my
like,
a lot of my dreams are like
Side-eye.
fucking action film movies, but like I could be
But
the
you're
Oh my
person.
god, same.
I could be the person getting like shot at, or I could be doing the the drive. Like there's
You know
so
what?
many wild ones.
Mine is a lot of me. Mine's a lot of me driving.
It adds up.
But it's like it's not me driving. It's me sitting all the way in the back seat.
Oh,
and the,
I've been
and
there.
and the van is just going.
There's one where I
Down.
was in the back, like I wasn't. I guess I was in the back of the helicopter watching this shit go down, and then I was also like in the backseat of the car while they were chasing. I was going back and
Oh,
forth.
were you like
And-
watching yourself or
No,
like
no, no. I was
still
watching.
like
I was
dual
watching other
screen?
people for this specific one, right? No, it wasn't dual screen, but I was just going
No,
back and
have you
forth
guys
from
ever
each.
dreamt where it's like you're watching yourself do what you're
Yeah.
doing in your dream?
Yeah.
Like
No.
that.
I
don't
haven't.
know
But this
what
one,
that
like, I was
is.
in a helicopter and they were chasing this like criminal in his car, and like I'd be in the helicopter for 1 second for one scene, and then the next scene would go, and I'd be in the car, and they were in like this crazy battle. It was fucking intense. The dude like shot the helicopter down in his car somehow, and then the helicopter crashed, and then that's when I went back to the car scene, and then like some cops on the ground find him, and then like. It's just nuts.
really
It
Wow.
was
Oh my
insane. I woke up and I was like, that kind of felt real. Like, just like,
You're like, why did I go through some shit right now?
yeah.
Mourn my fallen brothers right now. Like,
Woke up tired.
Yeah. Sweaty, tired, just like confused, a little
Scared.
bit of everything. But nonetheless, thank you guys for tuning in to Two Baltimorons. It's been amazing. Heather and Andrea, thank you for hopping on.
Of course.
To wrap it up, I think you guys can do anything you put your mind to. Write down your goals, visually see it, and then when it comes to listing your property, take into consideration the 3Ds of real estate and understand that everything's kind of intertwined and interconnected, and you don't get from point A to point B, or from your listing consultation to your close from either your real estate perspective or seller's perspective without everything in between. So if you guys want to reach out to us, you can find me on Instagram at Christian the Deadhead, or my number 443-975-8626. Heather, how can they find you?
my number is 443-281-9500. My Instagram is HeatherKelley230, and I should be posting in the next
But we're
month,
going
so.
to. I got something to put in the calendar for us. Andrea, how can they reach out to you?
Hey guys, you can reach me on Instagram, Drea_Soto.
Gang, gang. Alrighty, folks. Well, thank you for tuning in, and we will see you later.
Bye, y'all.
What's up, guys? Thanks for watching. For more information on the housing market, Real Estate 101, how you can leverage your position in today's market, and so much more, click on the link below. If you like this video or have a burning real estate question you'd like us to answer, leave us a comment and let us know. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss an episode, and we'll see you again real soon.